Good day, welcome to PacPrint. My name is Wayne Robinson, editor of Print 21. I'm here today on the e-productivity software stand with Rob Brisello from Ball & Doggett, Sign, Display and Digital Manager, and Daniel Alloy from e-productivity software, Regional Director for Asia Pacific. E-productivity software is the world's biggest MIS developer, and it's here because it has a brand new product aimed at a certain sector of the market, the small to medium sized market. Daniel, perhaps you can tell us about Nubium.
Sure, I'd love to. So Nubium is a brand new product. It's been built from the ground up. It's been in development for the last sort of 5 years. And it's a whole new concept to MIS aimed at businesses between 1 and 10 million, where we make it easier and more streamlined to implement, reducing the costs and the time to business, and really ramping up efficiency and productivity by offering what we have in our larger platforms, but in a much condensed and easy to use fashion. And again, really emphasizing the ease of business and ease of establishing that implementation in about a third of the time of a traditional system.
Yeah, because that's a big issue, isn't it, for people who are either swapping MIS or installing it for the first time. The time it takes, you hear this story over and over again, the time it takes to get it up and running.
Yeah, I mean, we would say to people like, installing an MIS can feel like running a marathon while doing open heart surgery. So by reducing that burden on the business, making it more bite-sized, we use a unique technology that is incorporated into the development of the product to allow the system to walk through the implementation and the training and the setup as they go. So it reduces the burden of costly implementation by using consultants. It brings the knowledge more in-house. And again, it's speed to market. It's speed for the customers to get up and running and see those benefits and efficiencies.
So no consultants needed and no hardware needed, Rob, either. It's an entirely browser-based system, isn't it?
Yeah, correct. So cloud-based system. I guess where Ball & Doggett fit into this is that we have very good relationships with a lot of our customers, the printing industry in Australia, and we see this as a next logical step in terms of moving a lot of our customer base into advanced manufacturing, especially with what's happening around the world in terms of onshoring manufacturing. So I think it's critical. The next step, next evolution of the manufacturing industry in Australia is systems and processes and automation. Certainly it's the hot topic around in terms of labour costs. So this is one system where we see is going to be the next logical fit for Ball & Doggett and EPS in terms of our partnership.
So we see some of the bigger companies in the country. We think of CMYK Hub, Easy Signs, fully automated. How do you think Nubium will impact on small printers' ability to automate their systems?
So the best thing about Nubium, I guess, it's a very low cost to entry to get in. We understand that a lot of the small to medium size printers and sign shops are very time poor. So this is a really good system where we can implement. There's not a lot of setup involved. We don't need to spend days or weeks in terms of implementing this and maintaining. This is really a system that the EPS and Ball & Doggett crew can help onboard people straight away.
Okay, and then in terms of integration, Daniel, how does that work with Nubium? It's a system for smaller printers. How are they able to integrate with everything else that's going on?
Absolutely. So one of the things that was built in part of the core, it's API driven, so it allows us to be able to connect. In fact, we've had a couple of customers come up with some really unique ways of connecting to external sites that, had they have come to us with a more traditional system, you'd have to go back to engineering, where within a couple of hours we're able to identify a solution and be able to deploy it in a rapid time. So it's incredibly flexible, which also means that they can be nimble and be future ready, future proof for whatever application they have in the future that they may or may not know today.
And when we had the presentation earlier, you talked about the fact that it integrates easily with software programs like Xero, like QuickBooks, like mFocus, like ESCO automation.
Correct.
So that shouldn't be a problem, should it?
Not at all. No, and it's one integration point and allows the customer to be very flexible. Again, it's the software is built with about 98% accessibility to any feature. So if you need to be able to query or poll or push information in or around, even by SMS, whatever you need, it allows you to do so.
Okay, and you talked earlier about a company in Perth that's integrated, that's applied the system, and that's not a big company, is it?
No, in fact, he's about 3 staff plus himself. Murray's going to be here tomorrow, so if you're around, please come to the stand and have a chat to him. His biggest issue was that he was spending hours at the end of his business day, working day, managing his systems, doing his accounting, raising purchase orders, balancing his books, and to be able to have a system that does that for him, identifies his costs, shows him where his profitability is. Historically, business of this size, if you had asked them, hey, am I profitable? They would look at their balance sheet last month and say, this is my outgoings, this is what I made. Yes, I've been profitable. But you start querying that down as to where and how, and that's where it takes more time and more understanding, where a system like this can provide that natively.
And Wayne, touching on that, we see the evolution of this system integrating back into Ball and Doggett. So the amount of phone calls we get around, where's our order, has it been delivered, can I get a copy of invoice? We see this moving into the realms of full automation into Nubium, into our system, about order traceability through our transport management system, even integration into iConsignment. I think this is going to be the next evolution of automation that's really going to take our small to medium-sized printers into the next realm.
Okay, well, it's great to hear small to medium-sized printers often reticent to get involved in IT situations because it might be beyond their scope. Yep. But this system, what you're saying, is kind of walk me through easy.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And it's going to evolve. Obviously, it's a brand new product that's being launched globally, and we're excited to partner with EPS, who is the world's largest MIS provider. And that ties in with Australia, Ball and Doggett being Australia's largest distributor. So I guess we cover a range of different markets, from labels and packaging to sign and display to small format digital. We see this covering a lot of the different markets that we service, and I think this is going to drive a huge amount of efficiencies and automation through our customer base.
Fantastic. And final question, when will it actually be available?
It's available now.
That's it. Good
Yep.
to go.
We're launching at PacPrint. If you're interested, reach out to the Ball and Doggett team. We're happy to show demonstration. We can do this online or in person. We have an extensive sales team around the country, and please contact your local Ball and Doggett branch.